Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again. Some dielectric up in the air. Uh-oh. Could be curious what's going on with the dielectrics. Put a little metallic in between that. Let's go over here. We're working on this little equation here. So, in regards to Leedskalnin, there's a box sitting in front of his wheel. And let's see if we can pull up that picture. Oh, is it there? It's not in there, but maybe it'll be in this book. I don't know. Here it is. This box right here. And it has a horizontal bolt going through it. It has two members of something iron going into the box. And then it has a wire coming off that bolt. That's going up to, there's two things here. It's not just one thing, it's two. It's two capacitors, I believe, but it's two bottles wrapped up. And then there's two chains. There's a fatter chain and a smaller chain. They're both coming off the bolt. So I believe when he turns that wheel, it sends a signal to the activated coils, just like a distributor or a generator, alternator, I guess, in a car, to where it puts a small voltage, but allows them coils to respond. And that's what we're building here. Bam! Look what we got. So in this box, I'm going to show thoroughly how to build. I got two copper wound coils. These were made for me by my buddy, made by Scott Russell, made by one man. You ever see his video, go check it out. Him and I are very good friends. Got two iron slugs, copper spools. I put some insulation inside so they don't ground out. I've been having some grounding problems with the setup, but it's old schooly looking. So these are replicas of what Ed had up on his wall, and we'll do a whole synopsis video. So in the 15th video of the building of Leedskalnin, right now I'm showing tidbits of the build, and then we'll do a tutorial on the build, video by video, so you'll have that spread out. And then there'll be a grand video, which shows the whole result, how it works, and you already have the process of how to build it. So this right here will have two wound coils here that can hold the resistance of, say, just say it won't get overheated. It can hold 12 volts. And it will be a coil that's always on. And as you move the wheel by it, it will react to it. And what we're going to do here on this, which is fascinating, because if you look at Ed's picture, he has, let's go back to that picture. So he has his bar running across the top, and he has them tied down on the sides, which is holding that box down because the box is lightly charged and it wants to pull towards the wheel. So that's how he's holding it down. Well, I guess there wasn't screws back then. So we're going to screw this down and have it to where when every time there's this level of steady charge and a steady charge, positive, negative. So when this is up above the negative, it'll want to pull forward, and when it's against the positive, it'll push back. This is nothing more than a switching device that Ed had. And this will be pretty unique because it'll be in the box, just like Ed has. And what we're going to do is use this. So this is the good part. We're going to use this as a switching device. This switching device is going to let us know when to fire one side, I have two PMHs going here. And the reason for the PMHs is we're going to make a longitudinal wave that is going to be the same frequency, but out of phase. And we're going to smash it together. Sort of like a system that smashes atoms together. And by doing so, we're going to make amplification. And we're going to send it to the ground. On top of sending it to the ground, we're going to have a grounding capacitor system. So on in how this is laid out. But we'll get into that soon as I cover what's going on with this box. So the box on the front end will be responding and hitting a contact in the front, which will activate one coil only on each PMH. And by doing so, it'll drive the wheel. Okay? In secondary to that, there'll be a back EMF on this coil on this side. Okay, the secondary coil. The back EMF is going to be collected into these capacitors. And what I'm going to do is have dueling capacitors on each down rod to the ground. And what we're looking to do is put a safety gap that comes out of the capacitors to a safety gap. So I want to charge these capacitors, say 70%, 80%, or 90% of their maximum capability of what they're going to hold in electrons. At that point, the safety gap will explode. That safety gap, when it explodes, it sends it down to my earth capacitor, one plate. The plate it sends it down an earth capacitor, it obviously will push electrons over to the other plate. When it pushes electrons over to the other plate of the ground capacitor, it therefore will push back up electrons to this plate. And then that plate's electrons will push over to here. So it's a continuum of a circuit. The electrons that come up, what I believe is going on here is the electrons that come up, because you're not losing anything. You're actually conservative here. You're moving power in, power down, power over, power up, and then back over. But at this point is where you look into thermodynamics, to where thermodynamics is, I think, would be the point to where you can pull energy from, and the system, an electromagnetic system, does not come into play. Leave your comments. Peace out, my bro hams. There's more to it. I just wanted to put that out there.